pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a roll call.
Oh. I can see everybody here.
Yeah. Okay. Have we, everybody had an opportunity to look at the agenda for today? And if we have, can I have a motion to accept the agenda as given?
So move.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passed. Has everybody had an opportunity to look at the minutes posted on the back of the front sheet?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of last meeting.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passed. Reports, budget report.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, budget report is attached here. You got a copy of it. I don't think there's anything really outstanding on it. We haven't done our chemical purchase yet. Typically, that's later in the year, but, so. Yeah, I see you got a little, oh, that's not on here yet?
No.
Okay.
I did buy Milestone because the rep called me and said they're gonna have a rate increase the 16th, and it could be from 1 to 7% with all this tariff. So I did buy my Milestone. Instead of waiting until fall, I bought it. My luck, it'll turn around and drop 7% this fall.
And that's for next year.
Yeah, that's for next year, but got ahead of a rate increase they had coming because of tariffs.
And that-
14,000 is what that was about.
And that's not on this report, so we haven't got an invoice for that yet, so. But otherwise, everything else is looking pretty decent, I believe, so if you have any questions on it.
I don't have any questions. Anybody else? If not, do we have a motion to accept the budget report as presented?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same. Motion passed. Equipment report.
Equipment's been doing good. Only had one flow meter I had to change. Only lasted 5 years, and the other two are 25 years and doing fine, so new junk. But other than that, I don't see any issues with equipment so far, knock on wood. Yeah, other than that, it's all doing good.
Okay. Any questions, anybody? Do we have a motion to accept the equipment report?
So move.
Second?
Second it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passed. Spray report.
Started in about second week of May. Weather's kind of hurt me this year. Some of that early stuff, when we had all that cold, didn't work as well as I wanted. I might end up kind of respraying or spots on some of it. But once we got a little water in that, then get going. Been getting through it. I'm about right at 60% done with the whole county. I do have one township done. 2 others have called. And I gotta call the other 2. They usually spray every year and haven't called me yet, but I'll call them because we usually end up with 5 townships. Other than that, it's been going good. Like I said, weather's, I don't know, it's different this year. Be dry and you get a little shot of rain, the weeds come, and then, yeah, I'm not happy with some of the chemical, but some of it worked really, really good, so. And lots of little trees. Man, there's a bunch of them that I think they're the only thing with deep roots getting the moisture, and boy, they came, so. On the windy days, I run around with a Ranger killing little trees in the ditch, or trying to anyway.
What are you spraying those with right now? That same thing that
I use Element 4.
4?
Tordon, they say Tordon takes trees. Yes, it does. It burns the leaves off them. So they're little enough it'll kill them, but usually they'll turn around and 1-2 years later they're back. Where this element that I use, that it's actually rated for forest to get rid of all them little sucker trees, and that's why I use it. It does a better job and it'll keep them gone.
Is this something that any farmer can get through the, like Eastern Farmers?
Yep.
Or anything like that?
I'm using a generic brand. Garlon would be your standard one. Right off the top of my head, I can't think of the chemical. It ain't triclopyr, I can't think of it right off the top of my head. But yeah, as long as you get the leaves covered, it translocates to the roots better than Tordon or anything else.
Now, is this something that you can use in those volunteer trees in waterways in case we get a big rain? Will it,
You're not supposed to spray it into water, you can spray to the water's edge. So,
well, in a dry
yeah,
water
dry
ditch.
year, if there's no water, you can spray it, yeah. And it works good.
And if
I
somebody
think you
asks,
used some of it, or didn't you, Roger? Worked good for you.
Yeah, it kills them.
Takes them out, and you can use it as a stump treatment. You cut off a bigger tree, the outside 1 inch, put it on there pure, and it'll take it into roots.
but you get these saplings coming up, you can just spray the leaves and.
Yep, just
it'll-
get the leaves wet,
Okay.
and it takes 1.9 ounces, just under 2 ounces per gallon, and you want to put a little NIS with it, because leaves are waxy, so, makes that stick a little better. Yeah, it works. It really does work. It takes them gone where, yeah, Tordon, I can reach with a truck and you'll see the leaves burn off, and then next fall, the little thing comes back again. So, but yeah, it does good. And there's lots of them this year, so
Yeah.
never-ending battle, job security.
What's the 5 townships that you spray in?
We do Delapre, Eden, Highland, Pleasant. Who's my other one? Grant usually calls me. Yeah, I chased Grant for a couple of years, and now they've had me back 3 years in a row. They had a lot of Canadians over there. They got a lot of wet ground there too. It's hard to get there. I prefer to spray townships in the fall because narrow ditches and next to beans, but I tell them, yeah, I'll hit it early, but when I'm next to bean fields, I'm probably only spraying 11 foot because I'm not buying beans. You give me back next year, that'll be a cornfield, then I can get to the fence, which is what I do on the county roads too. If I'm next to beans or alfalfa, I don't even try to reach the fence. Keep it back. Next year, I'll have a cornfield and then I can reach farther or chase it with a Ranger. But yeah, other than that, that's about all I got on spraying.
Any questions about the spray report? If not, do we have a motion to accept the spray report as given?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
So move.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passed. Complaints?
Starting out this year, just a handful of them so far. Following my leftovers from last year, and actually impressed that all but about 2 of them are getting something done or trying to do something. I'm sure they'll increase now that, things are a little slow coming this year. It'll start picking up. But they're getting them done. We're working on them. I don't see anybody that we're gonna have to chase hard or go to a declaration at this time. But, that can change.
Most of them you already know about too, are probably the same ones year after year, right?
Yep. And what I do is if I got a phone number, I'll try and call them back in the spring and just have a conversation. I'm not here to complain. I know you fought it last year. How you doing this year? And they'll stay on it. And you got the ones that'll fight you the last minute, which they always do. I know we have the one up north there that I could send them 3 letters and they'll take it right to the very end. And at the last minute, about time I want to do a declaration, then they go spray it. And they do it over and over.
I know that one last year that was up north, they mowed it. Remember, all the thistles went to bloom, and then they went in there and they mowed it.
Uh-huh. 3rd letter, same thing. To start really, really early, okay, I can, but I gotta go out and I gotta physically see the thistles. And I can go out there and yeah, they're little ones and I can use history. I'm gonna be a little cautious. I can't just say, well, I know you got them. I gotta physically see them. So starting early and they still fight you to the last minute and then they go mow it about the time you want it, it's.
But mowing really isn't the answer when they do it that late, because when they're out there mowing, heck, all them seeds are flying all over the place.
Yep. But when you go through the legal side, that's considered control. Now, we can push real hard if we want that they're going to seed, blah, blah, and you'd have to do a declaration and try and get them to spray it early, but they can still fight it. Unfortunately, if they want to push it, it's almost 3 months before I can physically step onto their property and do something. And when you get the bigger ones, we don't have the equipment to go do that, and then I'd have to try and find somebody to go in there and spray it. And I know one piece of property I dealt with it's over 200 acres, and they had trouble it was government involved, and they didn't want to spray because they're afraid people are going to get mad at them because you're government. So, double-edged sword on that. But they're getting it taken care of. So far, and I know it'll fall apart, does every year, but everybody's staying with it so far.
So what do you tell people, or if I meet up with somebody, if they have like leafy spurge on the property, what, Tordon or Element or?
They'll ask me what they should do, and I say, you need to best control a spray. You don't have to, because there are other options, spraying or mechanical mowing, disking, something to keep it from going to seed. If they ask me about chemical, I'll tell them what I would use. What they can use is their choice, and call SDSU and or call your elevator, talk to them, because I don't want to put it on me that I'm a chemical rep. But I'll tell them what I use, and I like Tordon. Tordon works on it. There are several that do, and timing is a big thing on leafy spurge. There's kind of 2 schools to leafy spurge. If you can get it in that 3 inches, spring is a great time, but if it gets bigger, then you're better off hitting it in the fall with something like Tordon that carries over, so you can go either way with it. And leafy spurge is a 100-year battle, because that seed can lay 30, 40 years in the ground and still be good. But when they ask me, I tell them that, you need to call the elevator or SDSU, but my choice.
In other words, in the spring, if you don't see it.
You gotta know where
If you see it, then it's too late, right?
Yeah, you can spray it and you'll hold it, keep it from going to seed. You're not gonna kill it off as good. If you know where it's at, landowner usually knows where his weeds are, well then go out there early. All you gotta do is see it, you know where they're at. You see if you go out there and hit it, burn it, It's their land, it's like the ditches. I know where the bad spots of leafy spurge are. We have 105 going south from 128. The first 2 miles ain't bad, and then you'll run into about a 3-mile stretch. It's only on the west side. There's a whole bunch of it there. And I try and hit that with a Ranger in the spring, and then they hay it. And if I see it coming back, if I got a chance, I go hit it again. But, if they know where it's at, try and hit it early. And others believe that fall's better.
You can hay it and it won't transfer through the manure.
Yeah, if it's gone to seed, the seeds can, yeah. If it's in the seed stage when they hay it. And when is June, July? When is haying in the ditch for? I can't remember. If you're part of the government program, you're not supposed to hay the ditches before a certain date, and I don't remember what that is. But, yeah, and Tordon, that's what we use, so if you do any county road, it's in the hay, and you better not put that manure on bean ground. Which, that's kind of the farming deal, you don't put manure on what's gonna be bean ground, because
Yeah.
not just my chemicals, but field chemicals carry.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why we use them, because of their carryover.
So even the spray on the weeds and everything, you spread it in a manure, it's still alive.
To a point, it breaks down, but not completely, and it has to do with when the beans germinate, it hurts their germination. If they can get past germination, yeah, they're fine, but, yeah, there's big, long reports on it, and that's how it carries over and why it works to kill weeds, because it sticks around. Milestone's the same way. But they're the best ones for thistles, and it's how you get rid of them. You put too high a rate of 2,4-D on, that can carry over at a low rate too, if you're doing a fall spray. Because it takes heat and temperature for all the microbes in the soil to break down that chemical back to what it is, and you do the fall, well, you run short, then it lays there till spring. So any fall spray could carry over. And they find out when they plant beans and they don't grow. But you shouldn't be putting manure on bean ground, you know.
I've had that happen just once.
You learned in one shot, huh? Yeah, it happens, it happens. Years back when we farmed, we were going across the field to spread manure on the other one, and just what dropped through there all summer long, there was our path that stayed there, you know, but that's, know your chemical and what it does. But we were big on fall spraying, so, yeah, you don't get as much breakdown in the fall as if I sprayed in the spring, it's probably gone and nothing gonna be there, because you got enough action, but. Make it work. Yeah, complaints, like I said, not a bunch, and everybody's sticking with it, but we'll have more, I'm sure.
Okay, any questions? Anybody? Old business. And what we have out there for old business.
I don't
I
remember
don't think there's anything
anything.
out there. New business?
About the only thing I'd say on new business, and it'd be the budget if I keep up with the two chemical reps. If it looks like chemical's gonna jump, well, it's budgeted for this year, but I'll purchase it earlier to try and stay under it. I don't know, might drop back if they get their tariff stuff figured out. But again, if a chemical company can jump the price and keep it there, they don't back up. Tariffs are not, you know, that's the rule, but.
It's easy going up, but it's really hard when it's going down.
Yeah, I know. Just on that budget, I was looking back this spring over, what am I, 8th year of this, whatever. When I started, I think we had $60,000 budget, and I've kept it there by doing, I'm not gonna call it spot spraying, but selective. If people are haying, I don't spray the whole ditch. They're keeping the weeds gone, cut it back to the shoulders. I've cut back on a lot of acres and watch it, and then if it's getting away from me, then I'll spray it solid, but trying not to put quite as much out there, keep the money reasonable. Then we get a super wet year or something, and then all the weeds come, and then I'll shoot myself in the foot, but
Start all over.
yeah. I've kind of hit what I'm saying is the bottom of what I can cut down to. So it'll probably start climbing now as the cost of chemical goes up, because I can only back up so far, but doing the more, I wouldn't call it spot, selective spraying. I got County Road 121, they hay that from Highway 18 all the way down to 46. The last 2 miles in the hills, they don't, and I've sprayed the shoulders on that for 3 years, and it's clean other than a couple Canadian spots. So why put $40 an acre chemical out there? And that's kind of what I'm trying to stick to. I just came down 135 spraying this morning, and I know there's about 6 miles they do there. It's nice and clean. I spray 4 foot of the shoulder. You know, don't waste the money, or try not to. I guess that's all I got.
Any questions, anybody? Next meeting?
Yeah, when's that
I
land?
have September 16th.
September 16th?
Yep, that'll be the third Tuesday in September. 8:30 here.
Well, we appreciate all your hard work putting all this together, you guys, and everything, putting the agenda together, and thank you for that. Thank you for your diligent spraying and everything. Anybody got any questions? If not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, I'll make that
Second,
motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passed. We have an opportunity.